Have you ever wiped away tears before walking into a room, forcing a smile as though nothing was wrong? You're not alone. Many women, especially those who care for children, find themselves caught in this moment, a tug of war between protecting the ones we love and expressing the emotions we feel. As women, we often wrestle with a question that feels as old as time. Should we show our pain to our children, or should we shield them from it? The answer isn't simple. There's a deep desire to keep their world safe, bright, and free from worry. Yet, we also sense that hiding everything might not be the best path forward. This conversation matters because it goes beyond parenting. It's about the emotional foundation we lay for those who look up to us, whether they're our children, nieces and nephews, or young people in our lives who see us as role models. It's about teaching the next generation how to navigate life's inevitable challenges with both strength and grace. Today, we'll explore the balance between protecting and sharing our emotions with kids. Together, we'll uncover how to create a legacy of resilience, honesty, and love. There is a natural instinct within us, a voice that whispers, "Protect them." It's the protective instinct that guides so many of our choices as women, especially when caring for children. We want to shield them from the harsh realities of life, to create a world where they feel safe and secure. It feels like an act of love, doesn't it? By hiding our pain, we believe we're sparing them confusion, sadness, or even fear. If they don't see us struggle, we imagine they'll grow up in a happier, more carefree space. But what is the cost of this protection? In trying to shield them, we sometimes put ourselves behind an emotional wall. We bury our sadness, mask our vulnerabilities, and deny ourselves the release of expressing what's real. It's a choice we make with good intentions, but it's also a heavy burden to carry. Society adds another layer to this dilemma. Women are often expected to be strong, composed, and endlessly nurturing. The world sometimes paints us as emotional anchors, the ones who hold everyone together regardless of what storms rage inside. There's an unspoken rule: be the light, even when you feel like you're standing in the dark. We're told to prioritize others over ourselves, to carry burdens quietly, and to wear a smile even when it feels forced. This expectation can feel isolating. It reinforces the idea that showing emotions, especially pain or sadness, is a sign of weakness. But is it? Imagine a woman sitting in her kitchen late at night, overwhelmed by everything weighing on her heart. She wipes her tears, telling herself, "I can't let them see me like this. They'll think I'm not strong." Yet strength isn't about the absence of tears. Strength is about carrying on even when the tears come. Hiding emotions might seem like the safest choice, but it can also create distance. Imagine a child who sees their caregiver as someone who never falters, who always has the answers, and who never shows sadness. They might grow up believing that struggling or feeling vulnerable is something to avoid at all costs. They might think strength means silence, and that can lead them to carry their own burdens in solitude, just as they've seen modeled. And then there's another layer, one of misunderstanding. When we hide too much, we risk sending the wrong message. A child might see a loved one who seems distant or preoccupied and wonder if they've done something wrong. They might misinterpret our silence as disinterest or our forced smiles as something insincere. But let's pause here and reflect on a different way of thinking. What if showing a bit of vulnerability isn't a weakness, but a gift? What if, in those moments of sadness or struggle, we could teach a lesson that is far more powerful than any attempt to create a perfect world? Imagine this. A caregiver sits with a child and says, "I'm feeling a little sad today, but it's okay. Sometimes people feel this way, and it passes. I'll be all right. In that moment, the child learns something profound. They learn that emotions are a natural part of life. They see that it's okay to feel, to acknowledge those feelings, and to move forward. Now, this doesn't mean we should lay every burden on their small shoulders. Protecting their innocence and creating a sense of safety is still essential. But there is a balance to strike. By sharing emotions thoughtfully, we can protect their hearts while also teaching them resilience. It's not about letting go of the instinct to protect. It's about expanding it. True protection isn't just about shielding children from difficult emotions. It's about preparing them for the world in a way that feels authentic and honest. It's about teaching them that strength isn't the absence of struggle. It's the courage to face it and grow through it. So, the next time you feel the pull to hide your pain completely, ask yourself this: what lesson would I want them to learn in this moment? Would I want them to think that pain is something to fear and hide, or that it's something we all face and something we can overcome? The choice we make in those moments can shape not just how they see us, but how they learn to face their own emotions in the future. When we choose to hide our emotions, we do so with the best intentions. Yet, every choice has consequences, and this one is no different. The impact of consistently masking our vulnerability reaches beyond ourselves, shaping the emotional environment in which children grow. Children are like sponges, absorbing not just what we say, but what we do, and, perhaps even more powerfully, what we don't do. When they don't see emotions modeled, they may begin to believe that sadness or vulnerability is something to avoid, something to feel ashamed of. They might grow up thinking that to feel deeply or to express pain is a weakness, and so they suppress their own feelings in an attempt to mirror the composed exterior they've seen. But emotions don't disappear just because they are hidden. They linger, unresolved, and without tools to process them, they can become overwhelming. A child who has never seen someone navigate sadness in a healthy way may struggle when they face their own challenges. How do they deal with disappointment? What do they do when they feel overwhelmed? If they have no example of how to face such feelings, they might conclude that these emotions are wrong, or that they, themselves, are inadequate for feeling them. This also sets up a false standard of perfect strength. Children may grow up believing that strength means never struggling, never crying, and never showing weakness. This unrealistic expectation can follow them into adulthood, creating a cycle of emotional isolation. They may strive to appear strong on the outside while battling an inner turmoil they don't know how to express. The effects of hiding emotions don't stop with children. They extend to us as women. Suppressing emotions comes at a cost. It takes energy to push feelings down, energy that could be used to heal and grow. Over time, this suppression can lead to burnout, a sense of disconnection from oneself, and even resentment. When emotions aren't given space to breathe, they don't simply disappear. They often resurface in other ways: stress, fatigue, or even physical ailments. Beyond the toll on the body and mind, there's the impact on relationships. When we suppress emotions, we limit the depth of connection we can offer to those around us. Authenticity fosters closeness. By hiding what we feel, even with the intention of protecting others, we may unintentionally create distance. Yet, this isn't about abandoning the instinct to protect. There is wisdom in shielding children from certain burdens they are not ready to carry. The goal isn't to share everything, but to find a balance. When we carefully allow moments of vulnerability, we show them that emotions are not something to fear or avoid, but a natural part of the human experience. Imagine the lesson a child learns when they see someone they look up to say, "I'm feeling sad, but I know it's okay to feel this way. It won't last forever." In that simple moment, they learn resilience. They learn that feelings are temporary, that it's possible to face them and move forward. They see that strength isn't about pretending emotions don't exist. It's about learning to navigate them with courage and grace. This balance teaches children some of life's most important lessons: that it's okay to feel, that asking for support is a strength, and that struggles don't define us. They refine us. At the same time, it lightens the emotional load we carry as women. Sharing a piece of what we feel, in an intentional and age-appropriate way, allows us to connect more deeply with those we care for and to experience the freedom that comes with authenticity. Hiding everything may seem like protection, but it can rob those around us and ourselves of invaluable opportunities for growth. By choosing balance, we can protect and prepare. We can show that emotions, even difficult ones, are a part of life that can be met with strength, honesty, and love. In the end, the question isn't whether to hide or to share, but how to navigate the delicate space between the two. It's about teaching those who look up to us that true strength comes not from the absence of struggle, but from the courage to face it, one emotion at a time. Life is a dance between opposing forces, and finding the balance between protecting and sharing our emotions with children is one of its most delicate steps. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about knowing when to shield and when to show. This balance isn't just about what's best for the children. It's also about what helps us grow into the most authentic and compassionate versions of ourselves. Protection is an act of love, and there are times when it is essential. Young children, for instance, live in a world of innocence. Their understanding of emotions is still developing, and they might not yet have the capacity to process the full weight of adult struggles. In these moments, protecting their sense of security is the right choice. Imagine trying to explain the complexities of financial stress, grief, or deep interpersonal conflict to a young child. It's not only overwhelming for them, but also unnecessary. Shielding them from such burdens allows them to experience their childhood fully, a time for learning, play, and growth, unclouded by the weight of adult concerns. Protection also means ensuring that children don't feel responsible for our emotions. They don't need to carry the weight of thinking it's their job to fix our sadness or make us feel better. Transferring emotional responsibility onto a child, even unintentionally, places them in a role they are not equipped to fill. It's our responsibility to process our emotions in ways that don't shift that burden to their small shoulders. But protection does not mean suppression. Sharing, when done thoughtfully, is just as much an act of love as shielding. It teaches children one of the most important lessons of all. Emotions are a normal and healthy part of life. By expressing manageable vulnerability, we show them that it's okay to feel. Imagine saying something as simple as, "I'm feeling a little sad today, but I'll be okay." This not only normalizes emotions, but also demonstrates resilience. It teaches them that feelings come and go, and that even when things are difficult, they can be faced and overcome. Authenticity builds trust. Children are incredibly perceptive, and when they sense that something is off but are told everything is fine, it can create confusion or even mistrust. Sharing with care and love, framing emotions in a way that reassures rather than unsettles, fosters a deeper connection. They come to see you as someone they can trust, someone who shows them not just the joys, but also the complexities of life. Striking this balance requires intention. It's not about sharing everything or hiding everything. It's about navigating the in-between. First, use simple, age-appropriate language. A child doesn't need a detailed explanation of why you're feeling stressed, but they can understand, I've had a busy day and I'm feeling a little tired. I'm going to rest so I can feel better. This frames emotions in a way they can grasp while offering a solution that reassures them. Second, focus on solutions. When sharing emotions, it's important to show that even in moments of difficulty, you are taking steps to navigate through them. Saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed, but I'm working on it, communicates not only vulnerability, but also strength. Third, know when to seek support elsewhere. Some emotions are too heavy to share, and that's okay. Turning to friends, therapists, or other trusted adults allows you to process what you're feeling without placing that weight on your children. This ensures that when you do share with them, it's measured and constructive. Finding the balance between protecting and sharing is not just a daily decision, it's a lifelong gift. It creates an environment where children can grow into emotionally intelligent, compassionate individuals who understand that strength and vulnerability are not opposites, but partners. It teaches them to face their own emotions with courage and to offer the same grace and empathy to others. And it reminds us, as women, that we don't have to choose between being strong and being real. Strength comes from the harmony of the two. This balance isn't perfect. It won't always be easy to strike, but it is worth pursuing. It shapes not only the emotional well-being of those we care for, but also our own journey toward a more authentic and fulfilling life. In the end, it's about teaching, living, and loving in a way that reflects the truth. Life is richer when it's real. Strength is not the absence of pain. It's the courage to face it and the wisdom to show that emotions are natural and manageable. By finding the balance between protecting and sharing, we create a foundation for the next generation to face life's challenges with resilience and authenticity. Let your actions teach that vulnerability is not weakness, it's a pathway to growth and connection. Let's continue this vital conversation, learning and growing together, so we can leave a legacy of strength, honesty, and love.